to be kind of almost reverting to default mode by saying he's not going to get into the nitty-gritty or talk about the best way forward. What I'm wondering is, does he consider the completion, and of course the Senate Democrats are one of the main reasons healthcare didn't get done, because they didn't finish it in a year, but does the president consider the completion of the healthcare legislation to be a measurement of whether Democrats can lead or not?
Well, I think that the president sees healthcare as something that we desperately need to take on for a variety of reasons that don't have anything to do with politics. And that includes the cost to the American family, the cost to American businesses, and what it's doing to our federal deficit. So pundits can make the determination of the sort that you're asking. But if you look over the course of the last year, the president is proud of the accomplishments that he was able to make with this Congress, from everything from passing a Recovery Act that helped to create about 2 million jobs, passing Lilly Ledbetter to make sure that women get equal pay for equal work, signing SCHIP into law, on and on and on. The president, I think, is pretty pleased with the amount of progress that we've been able to make, but he's not satisfied that we've done enough.
But when you were asked about when he wants healthcare done, you said, he wants it done as soon as possible. He kind of said that all last year, and it didn't get done. And one of the criticisms that's been raised is maybe he didn't crack the whip early enough, or didn't really kind of heave it over the finish line himself earlier. I'm wondering if he's planning to do anything different this year.
I wish I had some news for you on this. The president's made clear what his principles are. He's obviously talked to Senate Democrats today. He talked to House Republicans last week. He's going to talk to the leadership of both parties next week. And he's going to keep working to make progress on this. It's too important not to.
Moss, please, and arrive. I skipped over you.
I sure did. Go ahead.
All right. On Moss, they have some very virulent anti-Israeli cartoons. In fact, the Daily Show did a good job in publicizing them yesterday. Is anybody in this administration aware of these, quote, cartoons? And does it affect policy in any way?
I haven't seen the cartoons, and I missed that episode of the Jon Stewart Show, so I'll refer you to our folks at the NSC. I'm sure Hammer might have something for you. Christy?
I have one on Iran, too. Some of the people being executed in Iran are as young as 18 years old. Does that harden the administration's attitude and hasten the sanctions towards Iran?
Look, the president condemns those executions. He thinks that it marks a new low in their in where they are on human rights. He thinks that if they want to not be isolated from the international community, if they want to not keep isolating themselves even more from the Iranian people, they need to respect universal human rights. Christy?
Bill, did the president call Pat Quinn to congratulate him on the win?
Yeah.
Did he also talk to Dan Hines?
I'm not sure.
Is he among the Democratic leaders who would like to see Dan Hines concede the race and avoid a...
I haven't talked to him about it.
Does he have a feeling, is he concerned at all about whether a protracted recount could win the governor?
Not that I know about, but I haven't talked to him about it. Kara?
Thanks, Bill. This morning, the president expressed frustration over the fact that some of his nominees have been subject to a hold for an unrelated piece of business. But as you know, this was a tactic he used when he was in the Senate. For example, he had a blanket hold on all EPA nominees because he was upset that the agency hadn't put out, I think it was a lead paint ruling. So how do you square that, just his record using some of these tactics with what he said this morning?
The president thinks that we are in serious times. And in order to take on the challenges that we've got, he needs a full team. It's all hands on deck right now. And some of the things that have been held up, like let's take it away from nominees, for example. And there was unemployment insurance last month. It's something that was held up for a long time that was wildly popular. It ended up getting passed 88 to 10 or so. There's no point in holding things up that people support just to make a point that isn't helping the American people. So we're trying to make as much progress as we can here, and to do that, we're going to need a full team.
So as far as why it's different now as opposed to then, is just because the situation's a lot more serious with
what I'm saying is that people are holding up nominees who are actually really popular and that the United States Senate would support given the opportunity. And we need a full team in order to take on the things that we've got going here. Sam?
Yes, hi. I'd like to take one more crack at the health care angle. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has essentially said that she could get the votes to pass a bill provided that she had the guarantees that the Senate would act either first or during to amend its legislation. What is the White House doing to convey that message to Senate Democrats who, as the President rightly noted, need to act if healthcare is to pass?
Well, I think that Speaker Pelosi has made her views clear, and I think that she's probably communicating her own message to Senate Democrats.
So you're not helping her out communicating that message?
Well, I think that if Speaker Pelosi wants to talk to Senate Democrats, she knows where to find them, and I assume that she is indeed talking to them. The president, as I've said, has made his principles clear here on health care and thinks that we need to finish the work so that we can get health reform signed into law. Stephen?
Iraq is going to allow 500 people tied to the Ba'athist Party to stand in the elections in March. What role did the White House play in the last few days? I know you've been working on this for a while and bringing this about. And do you see now that there's a chance for credible elections in March?
I'm going to have to get back to you on that. Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks.
Nice work, Bill. Very good.